Hello guys and welcome back. So now we've added the Google SignIn package and the SHA key from Firestore. In this video, let's get started with the sign-in method. So the first thing that we're going to do is to create the user module class, okay? So let's go in the module here, right click, new class. This is going to be called user module, okay? Okay, I'm just gonna say user model like this, user model dot dat. So this one is going to be a class of user model. So first we're gonna have a string of the id, uid, and then I'm gonna have a name, I'm gonna have an email, profile pic, you're gonna call it profile pic, and then a cover pic. I don't think we'll need a cover pic. Yeah, maybe later on we can decide to add a cover pic behind there, but anyway, no, I think let's skip that one. What we're gonna have is I think phone number, okay? Phone, and then we're gonna have a string which is going to be about me, and then we're gonna have maybe, I don't think we wanna store the gender. Let's store the FCM token. Okay, after that we're gonna have I don't think we wanna store the gender. Let's have maybe string created at, okay? Created at. What else? We're gonna have the boolean, okay? Yeah, is online. We actually want to say is online, not is active. And then we're gonna have maybe int of posts. Yeah, followers, following, and then posts, okay? I think that's all we need. If we think about something else that we want, yeah, let's have this profile ID, okay? I'm gonna name it profile ID. So string, I'm gonna call it profile ID, like that, okay? Yeah, and then that's it. Now we can create a constructor. Why is it not creating everything? Okay, let's just do that. Is it done? So this is supposed to be online with one E. Where is a mistake? Online like that. Then we need to close this. Okay, we're not missing anything. So we also need constants for this user model, okay? So let's go in the constants class. Do we have? Yeah, we don't have, okay? So let's say user model constants, okay? It's just gonna copy that from the user model, okay? Let's do that. What's next? Followers, following, post. Okay, look like it's this and this, they are already created up there. So we can remove that, and then we can remove this. Okay, now here, down here, we're gonna have from map, okay? So let's say factory from map method, okay? Let's just let the assistant assist us here. We know that we can do this really quick with AI. So here we need to say factory like that, and then we just need to import the constants class, and then that's it. So also we need to add some default values here. If it's not there, we want to put empty. Also, if it's not there, we want to put empty. If it's not there, we want to put empty, just to avoid the errors here, okay? Want to do something like that, like that, like that. All right, that's it. And then now let's create the toMap method. toMap method. So this is going to be that. It's just going to continue. Is it done? Okay, so do you have, how did you name this? Profile pic. So this is supposed to be profile pic. I don't know why the AI is not just quickly doing all of this. I don't need to rewrite this. This is 2024. Okay. Now also, once we close that, we need to we just need to close this here and then close that there. Okay, so that's going to be the user model class. Okay, there's nothing else we need to do here. We're just going to create the user model class like this. Okay, now let's quickly create the authentication provider class where we're going to check if the user is authenticated. Okay, so we can close this and then come to the provider classes here, right click, new file. Let's call this authentication provider.dat. Okay, so class authentication provider, this it has to extend change notifier. Okay, it has to be extends like this. Okay, now this we're gonna first start with a boolean. Yeah, we're going to need is logged in. Okay, is logged in, we're going to get that. So here, instead of making it a boolean, we're going to make it a string. Okay, if he's logged in here, we're going to put this user's ID. Okay, if he's not logged in, we are going to put we'll keep it as empty. So let's change this, let's put it as a string. Okay, this is how we are going to determine if the user is logged in. Now let's have a bool is loading, and then let's also have the nullable user model. Okay, user model, which is going to return the user model. Okay, now we're gonna need the constructor here to pass if it's signed in. Okay, constructor here, we're just gonna pass this signed in. Okay, we don't need these other things. So here what we're gonna pass is just a string is logged in, and then we can remove all of these. Here we just want to pass is logged in. Okay, that's the what we are going to pass in this constructor. Now after this, let's get the getters. Okay, we're gonna get that, we're gonna get that, and then we're gonna get that. Now let's also just create the method set is loading, set is loading. These are the methods that we are going to use. We're just going to create them in advance. Okay, now after this one, let's also have let's first, okay, let's initialize Firebase auth. Okay, so final Firebase Firebase auth is going to be that, and then we also want to initialize Firestore. Okay, not Firebase Firecore. So final Firebase Firestore is going to be firestore.instance. Okay, now first let's create the method to sign in user with Google. Okay, so let's create that. So I'm gonna create sign in with Google. Okay, so this one is going to be, yeah, exactly that, but let's see, let's just write the code here. Here where we have to return the user object. Okay, which can be now. Okay, So here we need to create sign in. I'm gonna create sign in with Google like that, but let's close it out. The assistant is just writing a lot of unfinished code. Okay, sign in. I'm gonna call it sign in with Google, and then it's going to be asynchronous. Okay, so here let's wrap it in a try catch block. Try catch. Okay, so here is going to be catch. In the catch, what we're gonna do is okay, yeah, we can just print that and then close it here because the assistant is just not finishing the code here. Okay, now here inside here we're gonna have final Google sign in. Google sign in account. Okay, Google sign in account, which is going to be Google user await sign in with google.signin. Okay, now here we have to check if Google user is not now. If Google user is now, we're going to return now. Okay, which means we have not signed in, we have failed. Okay, else we need to do final. Okay, now you see it knows what it's doing here. Here we need to get a Google sign in auth, and then in Google user dot authentication. Okay, and then once we get that, we're gonna come down here. Okay, everything here seems like the assistant knows what we are doing. First, we're gonna get the credential. Final credential is equals to Google sign in credential, because it wants to return these credentials like this. Okay, so here we are getting the credential, and then after we get the credential, so I'm gonna just put comments here. Let's let the AI put comments. We get the credential like that. After we get the credential, it's gonna know what is next. Okay, now it says sign in with Google. It's just gonna do that. Okay, user credential is just await sign in with credential, and then we are going to pass that credential, and then in the end we are going to return that credential. Okay, so now it gets the user from the credential, and then we're going to return the user down here. If user is not now, return now, else we have to return. It doesn't need to be like this. Okay, so here if user is equals to now, return now, else we want to return the user. Okay, return the user, not what it's doing. We just want to return the user. Okay, so here we can do a lot of checks also here to see if there is a different kind of errors. We cannot end here just on the cached bug. Okay, there's a lot of checks we want to do. The Firebase exception, like for example, we can have something like on Firebase exception dot catch. Okay, so let's remove this extra bracket. Is going to we can print this error on Firebase exception auth, and then we can have a lot of exceptions here that we can throw. There's going to be a platform exception or format exception, something like that, but I'm just gonna put I think these two is enough, okay, for now. Right, so this is going to be our method to sign in the user with a Google, which retains the user. Okay, now let's call this method down here.